In Apple iPhone advertisements, the time displayed on the screen is always 9:41. Whether it's an Apple ad or when an iPhone appears in a commercial for cell service like Verizon or T-Mobile, it always shows 9:41 for the time. Why? The answer is simple. When the iPhone was revealed to the world at the Macworld Expo in 2007, it was 9:41 a.m. Your iPhone has another secret you probably didn't know. Open your wallpaper settings and note the time. Yes, it's 9:41. The word robot originated in 1920. It comes from the Czech word robota, meaning forced labor or drudgery. It was first used in a 1920 play called RUR, for Rossum's Universal Robots, written by Czech writer Karel Čapek. In the play, robots are artificial beings created to serve humans, but eventually rebel. Over time, robot evolved to describe mechanical or artificial entities, particularly those designed to perform tasks autonomously. The first digital camera weighed 8 pounds and was the size of a toaster. Before joining Kodak, electrical engineering student Steve Sasson thought it was possible to make a camera using solid-state electronics. By December 1975, he had a prototype ready for testing. Sasson convinced a lab assistant to pose for a test shot. It took 23 seconds to record the image on a cassette, and another 23 seconds to be read from the tape and displayed on a screen. The first webcam was used to monitor a coffee pot. In 1993, researchers at the University of Cambridge set up a webcam to monitor a coffee pot in their computer lab. The camera was connected to the internet, allowing people to check the coffee level remotely and avoid the disappointment of finding an empty pot. This quirky solution is credited as the world's first use of a webcam. Apple Computer's first logo was not an apple. It originally featured Sir Isaac Newton sitting under a tree with an apple about to fall on his head. It was designed in 1976 and featured a phrase around the border that read, "Newton. A mind forever voyaging through strange seas of thought, alone." CAPTCHA tests are a tool against internet bots. CAPTCHA is an acronym for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart. It was invented in 2000 to prevent bots from abusing online services. By presenting distorted text that only humans could read, CAPTCHA helped secure websites from spam and automated attacks. The first email, sent in 1971, was astonishingly simple. It was sent by Ray Tomlinson, a computer engineer who used the @ symbol to separate the username from the computer name. The content of this historic email was rather underwhelming. It was simply QWERTYUIOP, a test to see if the system worked. While it might seem trivial, this marked the beginning of digital communication as we know it. The world's first website is still online. In 1989, while working at CERN, the European Particle Physics Laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland, computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. CERN was looking for a way for researchers to share information easily. Berners-Lee saw the potential for using hypertext to link documents using clickable words. The first web server, a Next computer, was up and running by the end of 1990. The photo shows the actual computer used to create the world's first web browser. The first VCR cost $50,000 and was the size of a piano. It was invented in 1956 by Ampex, an American electronics company. Known as the Ampex VRX 1000, this bulky machine could record and play back television broadcasts onto magnetic tape. Initially, the device was used primarily by television studios due to its high cost and size. In our last video, you learned that watch ads always show the time as 10 minutes after 10. This is to keep the watch hands out of the way of the brand logo and other elements on the watch face. But there's an exception: the Apple Watch. To be different and send the message that they're ahead of the competition, Apple Watch ads show a time of 10:09. The first computer virus was harmless. The virus, named Creeper, was developed in 1971 as a test to see how it spread between computers. It simply displayed this message: I'm the Creeper. Catch me if you can. Google was not the first search engine. Several years before Google and Yahoo, we had Archie. Archie, the first search engine, was created in 1990 by Alan Emtage, a student at McGill University in Canada. Archie was short for archive and was designed to index FTP sites, allowing users to search for specific files. Although primitive by today's standards, Archie laid the groundwork for the development of more sophisticated search engines. Silver Surfer is not just a comic book character. It's also a term used to describe older adults, typically aged 50 and up, who actively use the internet and digital technologies. Silver Surfers engage in activities like social media, online shopping, digital banking, and even video streaming. With more accessible technology, this group has grown significantly, making a big impact on online markets and communities. Hello World is more than just a greeting. The phrase Hello World is widely recognized among programmers as the simplest program you can write in any programming language. It is believed to have originated in 1967 with BCPL, or Basic Combined Programming Language. Writing a program that outputs this phrase is often the first step in learning a new language, symbolizing the beginning of a journey into coding. The first item ever ordered online was a pizza. In 1994, a customer used the internet to order a pizza from Pizza Hut, marking the first recorded online purchase. The order was placed using a primitive version of online ordering, a far cry from today's seamless e-commerce experience. This simple transaction foreshadowed the massive growth of online shopping, which now generates trillions of dollars in sales annually. The first smartphone wasn't an iPhone. The first smartphone, IBM's Simon, was released in 1994, 13 years before the iPhone. It had a touchscreen, email capability, and even apps, but its limited battery life and high cost made it impractical for widespread use. Although it wasn't a commercial success, Simon was a groundbreaking device that paved the way for the smartphones we rely on today. A 16-year-old boy invented the escalator. 16-year-old American Jesse Reno came up with the idea of an inclined elevator in 1891. It was renamed escalator in 1897 when Charles Seeberger combined Scala, Latin for stairs and elevator, a device invented years earlier. As the internet grew, users wanted an efficient way to share music over the web, but because music files are so large, internet speeds made the process painfully slow. MP3 takes the large music files and removes parts of the sound that most people can't hear. The remaining sounds are compressed, making the file easy to store and share. When you play an MP3 file, your device reads it and turns it back into sounds you can hear. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPod on October 23, 2001, he said, "It's 1,000 songs in your pocket." MP3 compression is what makes this work. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was working on a way to improve the telegraph when he invented the telephone. When President Rutherford B. Hayes first saw the new invention, he said that the telephone was an amazing invention, but who would ever want to use one? Google Earth doesn't just map land, it also provides underwater views, letting users explore around 5% of the ocean floor. Scientists have used this technology for projects like mapping out seamounts and tracking underwater volcanoes, providing insights into habitats and oceanic life forms we'd otherwise never see.